My name is Tracy Cooper, and I'm the Community Education Coordinator here at the Children's Advocacy Center, Paluxy River Children's Advocacy Center. And this is Carly Smith. She is our Volunteer Outreach Specialist. And we decided we wanted to go live and talk to y'all today because Thursday is North Texas Giving Day. So we thought starting out on Monday would be a good time to give you some information about the impact that we made this last fiscal year and what we hope to accomplish this coming year and how you can be a part of that. Carly's going to share some information on some numbers and a little bit more about what we do. So go ahead, Carly.
Okay, so just in case you aren't totally familiar with what we do, here at the Children's Advocacy Center, our mission is to promote the healing of child abuse one child at a time. And we do that by serving the 3 counties around us, which would be Hood, Somervell, and Erath County. And so we provide a lot of services here at our center because we're essentially this one-stop shop of fighting child abuse in these communities. So like Tracy said, I really want to talk about some of our numbers this past year. Our fiscal year goes August to August, so we just wrapped up. So we have some really great numbers we want to share with you so that way you can really understand some of the impact we've had in our community. So one of the first things is our forensic interview team. In this past year, our forensic interview team did 502 forensic interviews. And what that means is 502 times a forensic interviewer sat down in a room with a child and let this child tell their story really for the first time. And they're telling the story of the abuse that may have happened to them. So over 500 times they've had this conversation with the child. And then while the child is having their interview, our family advocates are meeting with the child's non-offending caregiver. And so our family advocates provided 1,260 family advocate services. And what that means is that these advocates are sitting down with these family members and really kind of talking to them about where do we go from here. Their child may have been brought to our center for an interview. They might be a little disoriented and confused as to what's going on. So the advocate's saying, okay, here's what you can expect from here, from today, and then up for the next few weeks and months. And so they might be helping them understand where to go from here or what it might look like going all the way through the justice system. And then these advocates are also really trying to come all the way around this family, and they're asking if they have any physical needs or financial needs, because having this type of disruption or talking about child abuse or having that come into your family, it really can provide a lot of chaos. And so these family advocates are saying, here, let me walk with you and your family through these next few steps. And then for any child who has come into our center and had a forensic interview done, they're eligible for free counseling at our center. And so that child and their non-offending caregivers are allowed to have counseling for as long as they need it. And our counselors provided over 2,600 counseling sessions this past year. And just think about that, because these last, 3, 5, 6 months, we've been in a pandemic. And all of our services here have really had to adapt, and our counselors have adapted so well. I was talking to our clinical director this morning, and she said just this summer alone, because we've had to go virtual with our sessions, we have seen and reached more kids than we ever have in the summer before, because we've been able to meet the families where they're at and continue this counseling, which is so important in their healing. And then a really good and awesome number is to talk about how many kids have graduated from our counseling program this year. And we've had 42 graduations from counseling. And this means that 42 of the kids going through our counseling have met their therapeutic goals. They have gone through and they've learned some great coping skills and strategies to just handle what has gone on in their life, and they're able to go out into the world with some really great skills. And that's even with their families too. They've learned some really great ways to adapt. So I'm going to turn over to Tracy because she's going to talk about the education numbers, which is really what's in her wheelhouse.
And before I do that, I meant when I first started to talk about where we are right now. So this is one of our play therapy rooms. We have 3 of them. And so we decided to sit in here so you could see what it was like. Children don't just typically work out their problems through talking, they work it out through play. So this is one of the areas that we have for that to happen. So back to the education. I am the community educator, and Carly actually helps me with that too. But there's 2 things we do regarding education. One of those is that we train professional reporters, so that would be teachers or anybody that works with a child in a child serving organization voluntarily or as a paid professional. So we train them to recognize and report child abuse. And we also have added on, to meet Texas Education Code, child sex trafficking. So that's something that we always do. Last fiscal year, not in 2019, we trained 713 professional reporters. And this year, 2020, I'm happy to tell you that we actually were able to train 1,002 professional reporters. And like Carly said, that was even in the pandemic. So we had to adapt like the counselors did. And in August, well, I'll say we did these trainings, most of them virtually, beginning in August, which is our biggest time that we do those trainings. And we actually did 664, or we trained 664 professional reporters during that time. So it was awesome. It went off without a hitch. We had to learn a lot, but all those reporters were able to learn like we always do. In addition to that, we typically go to schools and have curriculum for kids from pre-K all the way to senior and high school. And we, before the pandemic, we go into those schools, we present those educational presentations in person. Well, now we are able to do that virtually, and we just did our first virtual presentation at Greenberry Middle School, and it went great. And you know, the schools can't have guests in, but we are not going to skip a beat. We continue to meet those students' needs where they are, so that they are aware of what child abuse even is, how to recognize it, and how, you know, to avoid it, and how to report it, because we always are wanting to let kids know this is not their fault, and we want them to know what to do. And last fiscal year, we there were 7,579 students that we provided this education to, and we hope to do even more this year, and I have no doubt that we will do that. So I think that's all on the education part.
So, you know, we really wanted to come today to really talk to you about these numbers, and the reason we wanted to tell you these numbers is because we had a busy 2020 fiscal year, and we can only assume that this coming year is going to be even busier. And so the reason we're coming to you with these numbers is because, you know, this Thursday is North Texas Giving Day, and your donation means so much this year. It means a lot every single year, but this year, us as well as many other nonprofits in this area, it's been a struggle. We have had to cancel a lot of fundraisers and a lot of events, and so North Texas Giving Day really means a lot to us this year, because this is another way for us to receive funds that really help us do what we do. We have 3 counties to cover, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. And here's the real thing though, fighting child abuse is a community effort. It takes community involvement, it takes community buy-in, and you donating to us this coming week or even in the months ahead is showing that you're in this fight with us, and that's what we're really looking for. So we hope you'll take the time to donate this week. Early giving is already open. It's been open since September 1st. Or if you'd like, you can wait until Thursday and donate on the big day. But if anything, donate to somebody this week. If you don't choose us, donate to another nonprofit, because we are all looking for community support during this time, especially as we get our coming year started. So we're glad that you joined us today, listen to some of our big numbers, and we hope you'll take the time to donate with us this week. And we will drop the link in the comments afterwards so that you can go ahead and go onto the site and donate.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a great Monday, guys.
Bye, guys.